So basically, if you just talk on that channel 1 there,
Yep.
and that volume, that's the volume, you should be able to hear Dan now. Can you hear Dan there?
I can hear everything.
Just talk and say this is...
Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2. You hear me? Hi. Hi, this is Jim and Gantry.
Yeah, you're belt back on
one.
channel 1. Yeah. Dan, so the camera guy on belt pack 1, channel 1. He could hear you then. 5-2, then we're going to do you. And if you can, we'll put the team sheet back up again. If not, just go through the Stuart's going to do the team sheet. Okay? Yeah, that's fine. So, I'll probably just go start talking.
I just lost you there quickly, Dan.
Now, okay. Is that all right? Yeah.
Yeah, copy that. I can hear you perfectly though, so. There's no way to go down, unfortunately.
I can hear you now. Yeah.
What I'll do is
And here we are, it's finally come, our first game in our new stadium, Oxford United pre-season friendly. Look, it's not the opening spectacle we'd hoped. We'd hoped you guys would be with us today and it might have been a slightly bigger fixture, but that's no disrespect to Oxford, by the way. It's pre-season, it's business time, and I'm delighted to say, joining me on this momentous occasion, the ambassador, Scale. How are you, mate? You good?
I'm all good.
Missed you.
I missed you too.
How you been? Little trip away?
It's very good.
Yeah. So here we are after 116 years at Griffin Park. Today is our first match at this, our new home. Unbelievable, this place. I'm gutted that it's potentially not the fanfare we wanted to give it and the opening we wanted to give it. That's no disrespect to Oxford, more a case of we would have loved to have you all here with us. But I'm delighted to say one man who is with me is the ambassador, Marcus Gale. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, thanks, Stu. You alright?
I'm so glad we're reunited. So glad. I missed you the last couple of weeks. How you been?
I've been good. I've missed you too. But you know,
Yeah, I was hoping you'd say that.
Need a
Didn't
little
say that
break.
early enough for me, if I'm being honest. Look, this is the first time you've been here, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's very impressive, got to say. High standards, high quality all around, and we've got a team to show that as well.
So, a lot of people I've spoken to have said this. I don't feel these pictures have done it justice. It's the size of it, the enormity. This stand in particular is absolutely huge. The facilities are incredible. But one thing I know everyone keeps saying and is worried about, leaving Griffin Park was a big thing. Does it still feel like Brentford? For me, I think it does, and we're going to see more things that are added to it that do. What about yourself?
For me, most important is trying to get the fans back in as soon as possible. Obviously, when it's safe enough to do so, I think that will bring the spirit of Brentford and Griffin Park into this new one here, and we'll be happy here. This is like an early Christmas present, I would say. It's a beautiful stadium, beautiful environment, and we'll have some good times there as well.
It's unbelievable. Would you love to play something like that?
Yeah, I would have loved to have been out there.
Yeah.
Most definite.
You might still get a game. You need to get a little charity game or something, don't they? Get you out there.
I'm sure we can figure something
If you
out
get
like
a
that.
charity game, let me play with you or something
We'll
like
be
that.
in
Can't
there.
just like, right. Look, obviously there is a big game today. In a minute we will take you on a little walk around the stadium, and we're hoping to bring a more in detailed tour of the stadium to you before that Wycombe Wanderers game this Sunday, our first competitive game here. But there is a game, like we say, against Oxford United. You got some team news for me, haven't you? Can I have a little look at
You
this?
can have a little look. There we
Right,
go.
so you guys can probably see the team news as we see here. Luke Daniels in goal, Dominic Thompson, Rika Henry, Charlie Good, Ethan Pinnock, Sergi Canos, Matthias Jensen, Ivan Toney, the big one, we'll get on to him in a minute, Tarek Fosu, Shanda Baptiste and Jan Zamburek. I mean, it's a strong team for pre-season. It is worth noting, obviously, there are a lot of missing players. That's due to the internationals at the moment. The likes of Halil, Patrick Gunnarsson, Mads Beck Sorensen, Maz Roslev, Pontus Janssen, Henrik Dalsgaard, Norgard De Silva and Mbomo all missing from today's game. That is because of the internationals. It is likely as well they'll be missing, obviously, from Sunday's game. But this shows squad depth, I guess, straight away. It's going to be interesting to see the new signings.
Yeah.
Looking at that, do you imagine we'll see obviously Rico or Thompson, who are normally left backs, we'll see one of them filling at right back, I guess. Apart from that, pretty self-explanatory.
There's not too much change in the shape at all. It'll be just like for like and giving players an opportunity to show what they're worth.
Same system, and we've got to talk about the two new signings. Start with Charlie Good, centre back.
Yeah, well, it looks like a very good size.
Hey, how many times are we going to hear
I'm
good
telling you
times
now.
all year?
He's a good size. Hopefully, he'll bring some added quality to the squad as well, especially that we had last year. And you know, Pontus Janssen was out. We needed a replacement to come in, and it just gives us more competition.
Yeah.
So it'd be good for him to settle in at this level and give it a good go.
Every time you say good, I'm trying not to say way. But he's absolutely huge, but he can play a bit. That's what a lot of fans are saying, that at Northampton fans are saying, that he can play, he's good on the floor, and I guess, look, we all know that's what our centre-backs do. The other one, person I was lucky enough to meet yesterday, Ivan Toney. You know a lot of people in the game, you must have known people that might know Ivan a bit. What do you know about Ivan Toney?
Well, they say he gets goals. You know, he was a bit raw a few years ago, but that's down to his age. Now he's 24, a bit more mature, a bit more of a rounded character as well on and off the pitch. So that should help him settle in extremely well. You know, we play the right type of football, we create a lot of chances, so we need someone to go and tap him in now.
Well, that's it. I was lucky enough to speak to him yesterday. He just said, look, I know all about Brentford. This is the club that creates chances and I score goals.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. Also, I thought with it, look, I was lucky enough to spend a bit of time with him yesterday, and he genuinely is a top guy. I know some people may have thought he might have been a bit too big time. He's got ambitions, and he wants to make those ambitions with us. I think a lot of some of the stuff got taken out of context, and he is a really fantastic guy, and his attitude is phenomenal. He's driven. It's exciting times. The other big one I'm going to ask you about, say that we both love, Christian Norgard, big news today, signing a new deal to 2024. How big's that?
That's huge. That's just, you know, it fits in well with today, first game, new signings, and a new signing in terms of Christian signing a long-term contract, that's going to help the club. That just shows the ambition of the players. They want to stay here.
Yeah.
They've seen this new facility now, signing great players as well. So it's only going to put us in a good position in years to come.
Yeah, I think there was a whole squad of players that could have won Player of the Year, and obviously Said and Ollie did pick up the awards, but Christian can't have been far behind. What a season he had.
Yeah, the phenomenal season. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't win the Player of the Year. I think the fans really felt he was, our mainstay. He was the sort of unsung hero in that team, but he was so vital in everything that we done.
Yeah, and look, it's a big pre-season game today. Does it feel like pre-season? For me, it don't really. Because obviously the season only finished a couple of weeks ago. Yeah,
it's a weird one this year, isn't it, calendar-wise? But it is what it is, and we've got to get through it. Yeah. I didn't personally like pre-season.
I was going to say, did you enjoy it? A lot of running, didn't have that as your bag.
Back in my day, it was a lot of running and a lot less football until the matches actually came. So I didn't really enjoy that until we started playing matches like this.
Yeah, we haven't got a big turnaround. Obviously, the cup game as well straight after this on Sunday. But I guess it's kind of today just getting minutes in the legs. I know that's a massive cliche, but that is really it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting familiar with the new surroundings, minutes in the legs, as you said, a few new signings on show, but also the fringe of players getting the opportunity to stake a claim into a well-built squad.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm going to leave you now because I'm going to have a little wander around and get you guys a little bit of a view of what's going on. You make your way over there, and I'm going to meet you in a minute, Mr. Ambassador. We've got Chris on cam here. I'm really sorry, mate, you have to do a bit of walking, but I've got to do some walking and talking. Look, obviously, guys, today this is our first ever broadcast from the new stadium. Bear with us. I ain't even really got a script. I ain't really got a rundown. We've also actually not really rehearsed any of this today, so anything could happen. If I make it around this whole stadium without falling down, it is an absolute miracle, because like I say, nothing's been rehearsed, so let's see how we get on. So obviously now we're making our way towards the West Stand. I'm going to try and do a little bit of a moonwalk as I go down these stairs. Hopefully we'll get a better view. We've got Mark Fuller snapping me cameras here. That's BTS, I think they call that. Behind the scenes, is it? Loving the new surroundings, Mark?
Love it.
Yeah, loving the hat as well. Here we go. So as we make our way down here, again, we should probably have sussed out a bit of a route as we went down here. Here we got the man, I'm coming to you, who's made the pitch immaculate. You loving your new surroundings?
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah? Dream come true, isn't it? Yeah, you've got the run of the plan. Right, we're heading up here into that West Stand, where I know a lot of you guys will have your season tickets. There's been some great communication between the club and fans groups to make sure that this stand does create the best atmosphere possible on a day. I know we make loads of noise, but I guess this is the stand that we're going to look to try and recreate that Ealing Road atmosphere. And I tell you what, this is an impressive stand to be in. You guys that have got your season tickets in here are going to have an absolutely unbelievable view. But to be honest, you're going to hear me say this a lot, and it is a cliche, but there ain't a bad seat in this house. I'm going to try and get almost as high as I can, but this behind the goal is going to be a really, really intimidating atmosphere. And look, we know how vital you guys are in almost sometimes being that 12th man and almost sucking that ball in on a match day, especially when we need it towards the end of a game. But this is going to be a fantastic place to watch football when hopefully soon some of you can get in here, and I cannot wait for that day does come when all of you are in here. We can also see, you might not be able to see, there are repeater screens at the top of this West Stand. For those of you at the top who won't be able to see obviously the big screen and the matchday presentation, and when we do make it to the Premier League, obviously that means, I don't like it, but VAR is going to have to come into place, and then you will be able to see any of the VAR decisions up there. So from the West Stand, obviously we're now making our way down to the South Stand. I'm going to try and, sorry, I've got my back to you, which is extremely rude, but I've got steps everywhere, and I have actually spotted someone who's taken, I don't know if it's her seat, I nearly went then, hopefully you're on me there. Is that Natalie Sawyer I see over there?
Hello!
How are you, Natalie?
I'm alright, how are you?
This is all very exciting, isn't it?
I am so excited to be here.
I can't believe it's actually happened.
I know, and I'm sort of sitting here with my mouth open, just watching and taking everything in, and as you say, sort of not realising what we're doing here, because it's we're here.
Well, as Brentford fans, I think there was well, I can't remember a time really being alive that there hasn't been a chat about a new stadium,
Yeah.
monorails and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Out with the Western International Market,
Western-
everything.
yeah, all those
Yeah.
sites, and now we're here. And look, again, we don't want to talk about it too much, but it was sad to leave Griffin Park. But
Of course.
it is, once you come in, it's so exciting when you're in here, isn't it?
It is, and it's. I would say it's beautiful, and I'm in awe of this place. I think you have to see it. You have to be here to really understand what it's like. And I was talking to you beforehand and just saying, pictures don't do it justice. It
No.
doesn't feel like it is until you're here. And I think it's amazing. I am truly blessed to be here today. And when everyone gets to be here, I can only imagine what the atmosphere is
That's
going to
it.
be
It's
like.
just tinged with that slight sadness that we're
Yeah.
not sharing it with everyone. Let's
Yeah.
have a little walk
One
around.
back, little
So
one
we're going to go here into the sound stand.
Yes.
This is actually where my dad's got his season ticket.
Oh.
I don't know which seat he's gone for. Where have you got your season ticket?
I'm actually over the north side.
In the
Is that
posh
north?
seats. So
north,
that's
is it?
kind of what the
Seats, yeah.
equivalent of Braemar
So
would
that's
have
the
been.
south stand. This is the north stand, isn't it? That would be right.
This is the south stand, isn't it?
I would have thought this. It says N on here. You see.
So it's the end. That's a good start for me, isn't it? Hey, I told you there was going to be mistakes.
This is fun though, Stu. We're all getting to grips with it. So
We're
yeah,
just
no, we're
raving
over
around.
there, and do you know, my dad loves Brentford, but he's a new football fan, should we say, in terms
Right.
of football wasn't a tradition for him and his family, so he only kind of came into football late because of me and my brother. So he only ever knows football from a different way. He doesn't know it's sat on the terraces. He knows it sat in sort of posh seats.
Right, I've-
So we're over there, accommodating my dad, who is above 80, shall we say. So he likes to enjoy the pleasures in life. So we're going to be over that side,
Hey,
loving
look,
it.
there's all different. We've got to cater to all different
We
fans.
do.
Yeah, I'll be honest, my dad isn't too keen about having to sit down, but look, we're
That's
evolving
it,
and
that's
we're all going
it.
to learn it. Look, I'm sure
I
when he
love
gets
it.
in here, he'll be excited.
I know.
Look, I know you've actually got another special job for us today.
I know.
We're getting our money's worth from
You
you.
are, and you've dragged me over this side,
I know.
completely on the opposite side, and I've got to get up there, way up the top to the TV
But I
gantry
needed you
section.
to help. You've got a long walk around
You have
here.
got a long walk.
So who are you running on? Comes obviously the one.
Mark Burridge and Carly Osborne. So it's going to be good, and I think this is going to be a cracking game because Oxford plays some really good football. Obviously, unlucky to miss out on promotion through the playoffs. We're keen to be in the Championship. I'm really keen to see how Oxford play, but obviously I want to see how we play. I want to see Tony, I want to see Good, I want to see all these players in action. So
That's it.
this is it.
I mean,
this is it. We're back.
around the excitement of the stadium, there is actually a game going on, which I keep forgetting. Actually, I'm too caught up in all this.
Well, it's a
But look,
historic day, isn't it?
it is, and hopefully
Brilliant.
you'll be commentating on the first goal that Brentford
Oh,
scored in the new
fingers
stadium.
crossed.
All right, I'll let
Enjoy
you
the
get
rest
off,
of the tour.
and I'll
See
keep
ya.
going. All right, brilliant. So we want to know who you think will be that first goal scorer in our new home. If I'm not a gambling man, and obviously if you do gamble responsibly, but I think my money would probably be on Ivan Toney. Look, another thing about this stadium, and it was another worry that I had in particular, was not being as close to this pitch as we're used to. I can confirm that we are really tight still. I mean, I don't know if we can actually get a shot of this, we might not be able to, but the players are literally just warming up just down in front of me. That's how close we are. And I can confirm that it's only actually 6 metres from myself to the lads warming up there, which is still so close. I mean, and that goes all the way around the stadium. So I know you get a lot of these new stadia with the big gaps between the fans and the pitch, but that's not right up close and personal. We can still keep that amazing match day atmosphere for you guys, and we can get up close and personal every week. So as we work our way down here, also talking about the pitch, this is the levels we're at the moment. That pitch is the exact same pitch, well, not the exact one, we haven't nicked it from them, but it's the same pitch as at Wembley Stadium, which again, that's just levels. And we saw him earlier, the Honey Monster. Fair play to him and the guys, because it is looking absolutely immaculate today. It is unbelievable. And so as we come to this corner here, this is where in the East Stand, where the away fans will be actually. I'll try and do a little bit of a backward walk if I can. Hopefully, obviously, this will be an area that's nice and quiet on match day. But this is where they'll be housed, right up in this corner. And we'll be up there, keeping them nice and quiet as we make our way round. The players are now going in. having finished their warm-ups. And as we're making our way into the East Stand, where hopefully my best friend, I'm going to say him my best friend, he will never say it back, the ambassador Marcus Gell. And again, I know I keep saying it, but you've got an absolutely cracking view from up here, looking up behind that goal, and a great view of the West Stand. And I can see my friend Marcus, and he's got a couple of pounds of himself actually. But we're going to keep walking round. I mean, that main stand looks incredible. I do like as well that the idea of having the away fans in the corner. I have to say, by the way, you guys can't see it, but Chris, our cameraman, he's absolutely putting in the miles. He's running everywhere. This is like, what was that show, Challenge Annika? It's like that, but I'm just coasting really. I've just got to walk. He's got to do all the running. But yeah, look, it's such a thing. I don't know if even our pictures are probably doing this place justice, and I really do mean it when I say it. We cannot wait for you to join us in here, because it is an absolutely beautiful place to watch football. I can't wait for you to be here. And he's here, the ambassador. Who you got with you? You got Harvey and Sam with you.
A couple of mates here.
So of course, these are our new home shirt and away shirt for this season. Come on lads, model them properly. Do a little side, do a little turn. Come on, give it a little bit. That's what I want to hear. Look, Chris can get nice and tight instead. We'll talk about these shirts. Obviously, we're going to be wearing the home shirt today. All these shirts now are available to buy. £48 for adults, £38 for juniors. They're also, this is brilliant, they're available in sizes cut for women at the same cost. So obviously in the past, a lot of women have had to buy the men's shirt and it's maybe not been a great fit. That is fantastic, the club are doing that. Full infant kits are £38, and you can also get obviously personalisation on the shirts with the new numbers, and that's obviously continuing that partnership with the mental health charity Mind. Look, the kits are on their way to the club. The away and keeper shirts and kits will be dispatched from the 18th of September, and the home kits will follow soon after. Look, the club do want to apologise with the delay in releasing the kits. Look, this was obviously caused by the short turnaround between last season and this season, and obviously we didn't know what division we would be in. This then obviously delayed the appointment of a shirt sponsor, so we were working on getting that done, and we are still working on getting a shorter delivery time for those shirts. I mean, what do you think, lads? Marcus, what do you think? Which one do you prefer?
I love the home one.
Do you?
That is Brentford. The red and white stripes.
I think it's got a bit of an athletic debile about it, especially with
It's got
Sam
something
in it.
about it.
Go size up.
I'm going away shirt personally for me.
I think it's again very smart, but for me it's all about the home shirt.
Yeah.
I really love this home shirt this year.
Have you got a favourite Brentford shirt that you had?
You know what? To be honest, I like the three that we had last season.
Yeah.
I thought they was probably the smartest three we've had ever, in my opinion. But I could be wrong. But
And who's going to score the first goal in this shirt,
Oof.
and hopefully the first goal at this place?
I would go for who's starting today again. I'm going to go Sergi.
You pointed at Sam as if I'm going to go for Sergi.
He's going to look like this.
You're going for Sergi Cannon. That'd be quite a nice little fairy tale.
Yeah.
I'm going with the main man, Ivan Toney.
Okay.
I'm absolutely buzzing to see him.
Okay.
Absolutely buzzing. Before we do throw to our commentary team, what is your score prediction for today?
Let me say 2-0.
Does the result matter?
No,
Don't matter.
doesn't matter.
It's about enjoying
But
it,
it's
enjoying
nice
the
if
day.
the forward can get an opening
Going
goal.
into pre-season, on the end of pre-season, how important is getting a win going into that first game?
Yeah, the winning mentality needs to happen through pre-season for sure. So
Yeah.
whenever it comes, it comes. But I think today, it's got to be the day.
And it's nice having that little buffer of the cup game
Yeah.
on Sunday as
Yeah.
well.
It's
The
a
cup
serious
game.
time of year.
And remember, you can obviously join us. We're not going to be able to do a live broadcast from that game on Sunday because it is on Sky Sports. And I can tell you now, we know the voice of Griffin Park is obviously Mr. Peter Gillen, but the second voice of Griffin Park was the brilliant Mark Burridge, and we can throw to him now in the commentary position.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to this fantastic new stadium to all Brentford and Oxford fans. Welcome to this historic first game at the new ground. Delighted that we can share this with you on today's broadcast, if not in person. It's 4 weeks to the day that Brentford went down in extra time to neighbours Fulham at Wembley in the playoff final. Today's opponents, Oxford United, also going down by the same scoreline in the Division 1 playoff final to local rivals Wycombe, who the Bees host this Sunday in the Carabao Cup. Delighted to say we have Natalie Sawyer, who will be up here in a few seconds' time, up on the gantry. And she's come straight from the Talk Sport studios this morning, and also Carly Osborne, who's with us now as a keen member of the Division 2 Championship winning side in 2009, which started a decade of progress. Great to have you with us this afternoon, Carly.
Thank you.
And your first thoughts on the new stadium?
It's amazing. I walked in, obviously it's kind of made me want to get my boots out. Made me want to get my boots out and get back on the field. It's a fantastic place to kind of play football, and it represents Brentford really well.
Yeah, we have an elevated view up here on the gantry. We can almost see Griffin Park away to our left-hand side. That's the west stand to our left. The far side is the north stand. And going towards the Hogarth roundabout, towards the Hammersmith end, you've got the east stand. And we can see the flyover as well, can possibly be giving traffic reports later on. It really is quite breathtaking. And fans can't wait to get here, obviously, once they've seen this, and there'll be lots of footage around later. I know you've been putting a few things out on social media. I have as well.
I've been teasing a few people.
Yeah, everyone's pretty well blown away. So it won't be long before fans are back in here. It's going to be possibly gradual, but we can't wait for that day. Anyway, let's give you the teams this afternoon. The starting teams for Brentford: Daniels in goal, Rico Henry will be right back, Thompson will be left back, Pinnock and Good in the centre. Across the midfield, Baptiste, Jensen and Zamburek. Up front, Canos, new signing Ivan Toney and Bosu. On the bench for Brentford, Ellery Balcom, Emiliano Marcondes, Marcus Force, Joel Valencia, Frederick Hammer, Paris Magoma and Kane O'Connor. And lining up this afternoon for Oxford, a team will be Simon Eastwood in goal. Across the back, Sam Long, John Messino, Rob Atkinson and Josh Ruffles. Across the midfield, Anthony Ford, Liam Kelly and Mark Sykes. And up front, it'll be James Henry, Dan Ajay and Rob Hall. On the bench, Jack Stevens, Sean Clare, Alex Rodriguez-Gorin, Cameron Brannigan, Matty Taylor, Marcus McGowan, Malaki Napa and Dillian Asson Gagne, with Derek Say, another one of the new signings. The manager, of course, is Carl Robinson. And we should see an entertaining game of football this afternoon. The pitch, as you would expect it in your stadium, looks absolutely sublime out there. And we're set for an entertaining afternoon. And hopefully that a lot of the fans from both teams who are joining us this afternoon can get a little bit of a feel for this fantastic new stadium.
Yeah, certainly. It'll be really good to report on it today. And I'm sure we'll have a good game of football to watch.
Well, of course, Oxford United had a really tough time themselves in the play. They won on the last day on the 7th of March. They won up at Shrewsbury, which got them into the playoffs. But they've actually been beaten by a team who unbelievably were 8th until it got changed by the points per game. And they must feel a little bit cheated by that. It was extraordinary, but it's so 2020, unfortunately. There really is nothing that makes sense about this last year.
For sure.
So both sides who just came a little bit short in the playoff finals will be here doing battle, and it would be nice to get off with a win. I know it's just a friendly, but people will be very, very keen to Brentford to start with a win in a new stadium.
Yeah, I think that's what would be the nicest thing, kind of, christen the new stadium with a win, and kind of get the ball rolling with that, because the season's only a couple of weeks around now, so it's important that I think we get that first win and kind of go on from there.
Now, new signing Ivan Toney, of course, is a player everybody wants to see this afternoon. We were talking yesterday. We thought we may get a little cameo, but he's going to get hopefully at least 45 minutes, and a great chance for Bees fans to see what he can do. I'm delighted that we've been joined by Natalie Sawyer.
I obviously got lost. I was on my own and I went through the wrong door and then I was, where am I? So you have to go back to where you started from, essentially. So I'm a bit out of breath because I've literally been running through corridors, upstairs, everywhere.
We'll give you a few seconds. Great to have you with us, Natalie. And we've been doing some work with Stuart, which we've been watching on the big screen beforehand. Two sides are set to kick off fairly soon. John Messino and Luke Daniels, captains this afternoon. Fans will be saying no David Raya again this afternoon, and they will be concerned.
That's just the way we are, isn't it? We automatically, as soon as a player isn't involved, we think, it was like training. Where's Simon Benrahma? Where's Ollie Watkins? All that sort of stuff. You know, it's good to get an opportunity to see Luke Daniels because we haven't actually seen Luke Daniels that much. So
and he hasn't let us down when he's played.
Exactly. So I'm pleased that we're going to go see a bit more of Luke Daniels.
Well, it looks as if it's going to be Oxford kicking off, and they will be kicking right to left. That's towards the West Stand, or if you want to know your geography, towards Griffin Park.
That's the best way.
That's the best way to do it. I can say that. Yeah.
Brentford kicking towards Hammersmith. Or which we will get used to it. The East
Chiswick Roundabout.
Yeah, it's
the Chiswick Roundabout.
Yeah.
The Hogarth Roundabout.
Keep it simple. Yeah. I'm terrible at seeing when you do north, south, east, west. All
Yeah.
that. I have to use it my hands still. It's terrible.
We're getting used to it. Well, we're underway, and here is Kelly, the former Reading man, who's on loan from Feyenoord. Scored a penalty against Brentford for Reading a couple of seasons ago. And first foul's given away by Fosu on the far side. Had a couple of great cup runs last year. Did Oxford beat West Ham United 4-0 in the League Cup, which was quite an eye-catching result. And known for their blowing football under Carl Robinson, who I know you know fairly well, Natalie. And he's a manager that I always thought would probably be given an opportunity at a higher level.
Yeah, especially when he was at MK Dons. There was a lot of talk at that time that he was going to move on. He was, linked to a few clubs, but it hasn't quite worked out for him. But a lovely guy. If you have ever had the opportunity to meet him, he's a lovely guy, really easy to get along with. I've worked with him a few times, actually, when I used to do Sky Sports the EFL coverage. So, yeah, I've got to know him a little bit. He's lovely.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I'm not one of his favourite people, though.
What did you do?
I think I've injured two of his players 2 times, and I think it's cost them when he was at MK Dons, so I'm probably not one of his favourite people.
You'll have to avoid him afterwards, Carly.
Yeah, I'm always walking past him with my hand trying to hide my face. But he's a good guy, a good manager, and he seems to be building a good thing at Oxford for sure.
Yeah.
Well, both managers in their technical area at the moment, as Oxford trying to play the ball out from the back with John Messino, former Brentford player, of course, who had 64 games for Brentford, 2 goals in that, but will be very much remembered for playing in goal when Clark Masters was sent off early against Gillingham. Again, we went on to draw 2-2, and I think we were pleased to get out of Dodge with a point that game. Here is Kelly for Oxford, playing in their traditional yellow today. All floated up towards good with a powerful header there. And Rico Henry trying to clean up on this near side. He's playing in the right back position this afternoon rather than his customary left back. He's Pinnock just about gets the ball out of his feet in time. Thompson through the centre, and here comes teased out towards the left hand side to another former Oxford man in Fosu. Starts for Thompson to cross it into the box, looking for Tony. Fosu can't control it, and Rob Hall manages to bring the ball away here for Oxford. Good run down the right hand side as Oxford around the back. Not the best effort there, high and over the bar. Was just waiting for Jay to make a run into the box. He was a little bit too deep in play.
Yeah, he didn't really offer too much there. No. I think I'm not sure what he was expecting J-Mo to do, but I'm sure he's just feeling his way into the game.
Good chance for Brentford to get some better fitness, as we've had a really short pre-season, haven't we, Natalie, in this mad time, literally a month from the last 4 weeks ago today we're playing at Wembley against Fulham, and here we are after some decent, I thought, performances at the weekend for particularly Sergi Canos, who played very well against West Ham, and the ball's floated towards him here. He's just offside.
Yeah. Just went a bit ahead of himself there, did Sergi. It's bizarre, isn't it, how everything's just condensed, and I don't know what, Carly, that would be like for a player to suddenly have, I don't know, how many weeks do you normally get off?
So usually
4 or 5 weeks?
Yeah, usually kind of you have 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks off, and then you're in kind of for sort of 6 weeks for pre-season, whereas now you've almost had sort of 3-4 months off some people, and then you're in for almost 4 weeks, so it's a very different situation, and everything is very condensed.
Good with another head through the centre. Fosu trying to get that under control. Eastwood launches this one long. Good under this one, who's he certainly, I think, warmed himself to everybody at Brentford, and there was, I think, a really nice gesture for him to donate some of the money he was owed by Northampton back to the academy there, which is
lovely things to do, isn't it? We talk about, especially during this time, about players doing their little bit, and that's a lovely thing, a lovely gesture for him to have done.
Work on there on the far side from Baptiste, who of course just had a few cameos at the end of last season here and there, struggled with fitness. And there's a foul in the centre there on Jensen. Brentford will get a free kick. Sun coming out, 20 degrees here in West London today. And one of the things from our lofty perch up here, you can see the elevated section of the M4 in and out of London. We could almost give traffic reports.
Nice and clear at the moment.
Yes. Yeah, no problems, east or west. Here's Henry. Nice ball through to Canos, who's timed his run well. Looks up. Can't beat the first man. It's headed away. Henry back to Jensen, who scored against Derby up at St George's Park the other day. Another 3-0 win against them. Good start to the pre-season. Here's Fosu. To Baptiste, of both Oxford men, former Oxford men, linking up well. Brentford get the first corner.
Do you know what I'm noticing? The acoustics are pretty good. You can really hear everything. You can hear the managers shouting, the players and everything. Imagine when the fans are here as well.
It will. The atmosphere will be fantastic, won't it?
It is going to be absolutely sensational. It may be, of course, you've got your finger on the pulse a lot more than us, Natalie, with this. You're hearing everything at TalkSport, the latest news coming out. But it does look as if it could be the whole season before we see the ground.
Possibly, yes. It was great to see the test event at Brighton. It was a very successful test event, but only 2,500 people, so not really enough to gauge how it would be with a full stadium, if you like. But I'm hopeful that we'll get some fans back. As you say, it just won't necessarily be a full stadium. But all positive signs, let's put it that way. Let's keep our fingers crossed that it all moves in the right direction.
Well, Hall's down injured on the far side, hence a little bit of a break in play here. But Natalie, you've made the transition from Sky to TalkSport. You're loving it there. You're doing a great job. You're a great ambassador for Brentford, of course. We all know how Natalie is on when we're tuning in. How much are you enjoying it? Do you prefer the radio to what you used to do?
I love it. I do love it, and it's more of a conversation. And in TV, everything is short and sharp. Whereas with radio, you can take your time a little bit more. If you're enjoying a conversation, you need to head to a break. You can then carry it on afterwards. You don't have to just shut it down. So I enjoy that a lot. There's a lot more work in radio in terms of what I have to do. Going to, not to say that people don't work hard at Sky, but when I was at Sky, it felt like you did your research, but you didn't really do a lot more. Whereas at TalkSport, there's a lot more work that we have to put into it. And even just simply arranging guests and things like that, we're all part of that as well. So it keeps us busy.
Here comes a corner. It's a header just glancing past the far post. Early chance there for Brentford. And
was that Tony, I think?
It was Ivan Tony. That would have been a great way to start off his Brentford career. Because one of the things is, Carl, you want to get the first goal on the new ground. You want that going to your team. Yeah,
for sure. And especially as a forward, you want to kind of get off the mark as quick as you can. And if you can almost come in and on a day later end up scoring at the new ground, it helps get the fans on side, that's for sure.
Interesting thing is, of course, Ollie Watkins, who many are believing, he will be going, and Ivan Toney will be his replacement. Ivan Toney is a natural striker. He's played down the centre, whereas Ollie Watkins is converted from a left side, a winger really. So he's been coached into that well. I mean, early on in the season, he looked to be struggling the first few games with it, but after Nottingham Forest away, just seemed to grow more and more into it. And the one thing we saw at the end of last season, the games coming thick and fast, his work was phenomenal. He didn't tire in any game.
The amount of sort of tracking back and he'd come deep, wouldn't he? And which would then give space to someone like Brian or to side. His football intelligence, I think, is fantastic.
He's really unselfish. As a forward, especially, really, really unselfish.
But do you think that is because maybe he wasn't a natural?
Yeah,
striker?
possibly. Yeah, possibly. So he maybe has a better understanding of what wingers may want and things like that. So that definitely could be part of the reason.
Jay, the ball makes its way out into this left-hand side to Ford, but one well back by Rico Henry. Was another outstanding player the whole of last season. He's just looking for Canos here on the right. Canos a little bit behind play, so he's had to shift the ball over to the left. Here is Baptiste. Pinnock, another man who, well, he was outstanding, wasn't he, Natalie? The behind closed doors games at the end of the season was week in, week out.
Oh, he was superior in defence, I would say. He couldn't put a foot wrong, could he, really? No. He was fantastic for us.
Good, just linking up with Zambarik, who's just had a few cameos here and there last season. We'll be looking to get a little bit more game time when the opportunity comes around. It's Pinnock. Too good once more. Oh, lovely spin pass by Jensen out towards Rico Henry. Tony in the box. Canos has come short. Has tried to float it up to the far post. Looking for someone coming in. No one was gambling. It's gone behind. It's a goal kick. I think we've enjoyed the first few minutes, Carly.
Yeah, it's been good. That was a lovely bit of patient football there, and obviously creating an overload on the wing. But it was fantastic there. It's been good so far. Some real good football been played.
0-0. If you're just joining us, welcome to all of you Brentford and Oxford fans. Let's hope both teams this season can go one step better.
I'd like that. That sounds fair.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Feel like
more than happy with that.
Both teams are brothers in arms this afternoon. Both got the empathy of not quite getting over the line at the end.
That's it.
Did you watch the playoff games?
Yeah, I did.
With Portsmouth and Oxford, both very, very tense affairs.
Yeah, really tense. I did watch it. So it was good. It just felt so strange with no fans there, and that big of kind of stage, and obviously what it meant to the clubs, and just not having that support there just felt so strange.
I think the playoff we experienced that at Wembley with the final. Certainly, being there, it didn't feel anything like a playoff game without fans. Yeah, you noticed it just simply more than ever. League games, he perhaps just got away with it, but not later on. Canos just controlling that with his arm, not missed by the officials. Here is Messina looking to build from the back. Foster making himself busy. Messina goes long this time. Rico Henry dealing that one well. Gives his keeper and captain a touch. Launches upfield. Kelly. Back towards Eastwood, who's well out of his area. Interesting player, Kelly. Do you remember him playing for Reading, pulling the strings in the middle, Natalie, and then he...
I do. It's only when you reminded me, though. I wouldn't have guessed before that, though.
Yeah, he went to Oxford at the end of last season on loan for Feyenoord, and he's now got a season-long loan, but he'll be the man looking to make them tip. Very, very tidy footballer.
Yeah, there was a lot of hype about him when he first broke through, wasn't there, at Reading?
And here he is on the ball again. Must be, I would have thought, Carly, one of the smallest footballers in the league.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Is Oxford coming forward? Good defending at the back there. The ball put behind by one of those long legs of Pinnock.
That's good defending there. Always appreciate a bit of good defending, I do.
Well, of course, Sally, we remember you from the 2009 season where the majority of it you were playing right wing back, where you didn't really want to be.
Right back and right wing back, yeah.
Centre.
I think I just got thrown out there because I was the youngest one. And I suppose those days I was quick, and not as quick anymore. But it was just great to be part of the team, to be honest. I would have played anywhere.
Dealing with that one, well, here's Foster, who's all on his own. Runs out of the pitch on the far side. We're into the 15th minute, 0-0. Ivan Toney going fairly close for Brentford. Early on with a good cross into the box. Wasn't too far away from getting his first goal for the Bees. But it's interesting. You can hear all the work in the background with the drills going on, Natalie, as obviously all the building work on the flats around here, and it's going to be that way for some time. But it's going to be amazing when the whole development is finished.
Yeah,
it is going to be simply
it
incredible.
will be lovely.
I'm sure Carly's put his deposit down on a flat, and
Yeah.
you've got one looking over the ground.
Yeah, of course.
It wouldn't be bad.
I wonder if you have to pay more for that.
Daniels to Pinnock. Oxford start off their season with a home game against AFC Wimbledon in the Carabao Cup at the weekend. And here is Rick Owen, a lovely header through to Canos. What can Canos do this time? Nice cross into the box. It breaks to Thompson. Thompson first to the ball there, just caught. So Brentford will get a free kick in a promising position, very central. Maybe one for Thijs Jensen to test the keeper.
This is my first time being a part of this for quite a while, Mark. The numbers, not the best, are they?
No,
sometimes to read.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm glad it's not just me then. I thought I was going to have to go and get some glasses after this.
Just not the clearest.
Jensen looks as if he's fancying this one. Up he comes now. Oh, nearly opened the scoring there. Good save in the end there by Simon Eastwood, away to his left-hand side. We got that nicely up and over the wall.
Yeah, it was a great effort, fantastic effort. Great technique there.
We suffered at the end of last season. I know we've lost our free kick coach to Arsenal. Let's hope we don't lose any more personnel to Arsenal. And I felt in the last few games we were running out of ideas. We really, a lot of free kicks we had and corners didn't seem to be having the success that they had in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
Here comes a corner on this right-hand side. Foster keeps it in play well. Thompson's made himself available. And Foster decides to go himself. Back to Thompson in the end. Turns it back to Foster. A little step over from him. Good cross into the box. Toney is there. He's going to come back to Zamra, but he's drilled it wide with a free kick has been given already. Brentford just starting to carve out some opportunities here, Natalie.
They are. What I like to see is there's lots of numbers in the box as well, which is obviously really promising. But yeah, starting to perhaps get a bit of a hold on the game as well.
Of course, a lot of our big guns will be missing at the weekend for the Carabao Cup. It's always nice when you've got players off on international duty. Great to see Norgard and Dalsgaard, who of course both might be playing against England next week in Copenhagen in the Nations Cup. That would be something when you're watching.
Sort of a sense of pride, though, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It was like when Dalsgaard won the World Cup. It was like he's one of ours.
Yeah.
It's great.
But great news that Norgard has signed a new deal today. He was outstanding last year. Many supporters, player of the season, and certainly I felt for that second half on at Barnsley away last year, he was 8 out of 10 most games. Some days he was even higher than that. But he gave us that steal. He brought something to the side that had previously been missing.
Which is exactly what Thomas Frank has said as well, hasn't he? And he made us tick, didn't he?
Yeah,
just knew what
he
to
just
do.
made us flow. He brought. He was a big part of that spine down the middle. Raya, Pontus Jansson, and you could put Pinnock in there as well the way he was playing. But Norgard through to Ollie Watkins down the centre had a great spine in the team, and how we were treated to sensational stuff at times. Now here's Fosu charging forward. He's going to have to cut the ball back. He was looking for Canos. But, they get it away in the end through James Henry. And here's Sino.
It's nice to see for a pre-season game Brentford with so much intensity, especially on the ball as well. It's always nice to see that.
Well, they played with a lot of their football with such a high tempo for so much of last season, and that's what you saw in games when they were at their brilliant best. They could put games to bed very, very quickly with some great high tempo intensity football, non-stop attacking. Here is Fosu. Chips into the far post. Tony with a header, and Eastwood just about scrambles across to get it away. Tony's gone close twice. Now Rico Henry to Jensen, a little dink pass out to Thompson, who then spreads it wide to Fosu. That's it's a nice play from Fosu in the early stages here. Nice pass floated out to Rico Henry. He fancies a run into the box, needs to pick out a man, cuts it back, a little bit too heavy with his right foot. Thompson dives in, strong, wins it back well. Thompson tries to float off the bar, post it off the bar, and Baptiste was offside.
Deserves something more from it,
That's
didn't
a
it?
great effort.
Great effort there. Brentford going close.
But that's that persistence, isn't it? Just keep going, and that's nearly paid off. Just a quick mention as well, Josh De Silva obviously getting an under-21 call-up. Fantastic for him.
What a player he was last season. And you could say, he's a young player, Carly, coming through. You could see the season before he was good in patches, but you're not going to expect that consistency for him. The same as last season. He got a little bit tired and fatigued, he felt, in the middle of the season, found his form again. And again, you're thinking this season he's going to progress again.
I think
this will do his confidence the world of good. What a lovely moment for him to be, to get that phone call that you are now in the under-21s, and that'll do his confidence the world of good.
Oh, for sure. I'm sure he'll come back, off international duty with a real kind of positive attitude and ready to really kick the season on again. He was fantastic last year though, and I think he maybe did better than people would have thought actually in terms of what he produced kind of week in, week out. So hopefully he can keep on doing that.
Another good ball into the box by Thompson, making a great run there, and Sergi Canos couldn't quite get there, but Brentford certainly going through the gears now. Natalie, into the 21st minute, and Brentford are looking keen to get that first goal.
Yeah, that's the only disappointment, isn't it? We just haven't scored. We've created a number of chances, and maybe that's the only thing that Thomas Frank at this moment in time will be disappointed, as we all are. But it's just showing such promising signs. And remember, this isn't necessarily our first 11, so there's plenty more to come from this team.
Yeah, it looks it's looking promising, because it's not all the first teamers out there this afternoon, but the ones who aren't on international duty will be wanting to make sure that Thomas Frank still has them on the team sheet for that first league game up at Birmingham, as Canos whips the ball across this time. Not sure whether he was going for goal himself or just trying to put it into the area